Hey everybody, it's Eddie on crypto for growmybag.tv, and there is so much going on. I'm expecting there to be tons of news going forward, right? Um, just because there's just all kinds of events going on around Bitcoin. All right, we'll get into that. Let's start off with dYdX. Quick news: dYdX, in terms of trading volume, has surpassed Uniswap. That's a big move. I'll show you later that their coin actually, the dYdX coin, has actually gone up as well. I think it was like 7% or something like that. Binance lost 5% of market share last year, 2023. So I had been saying that, listen, they might be the biggest in the world by far, but you still have exchanges like Gemini, OKX, Coinbase, of course, Kraken, that are all growing and all firing on all cylinders. Where Binance fumbles the bag, those guys are grabbing the bag. So that's actually very interesting to me, because I don't want there to be just one singular huge freaking entity. I want there to be several, right? Because again, like I said, no exchange is going to satisfy all of your necessary needs. You need more than one. I know where your head is going. Stop it. Let's see. The judge in the case of the SEC versus Coinbase, they're saying that, that judge, she's saying that, hey, SEC, your case might be a little broad. So not necessarily so that she dismisses. Like I think the chances of the case being totally dismissed is going to be. I think that's a joke. However, there are problems with the SEC's case. One, you didn't lay down any groundwork for what's a security, what's not, with regard to cryptos. Two, your case against Coinbase seems to be too broad. So do I think that Coinbase comes out of this unscathed? No. Do I think that they're going to have to pay a fine? Yes. Do I think that fine is going to be huge? No. So there's a lot going on in that space, and that's why I'm paying attention. And I love the fact that they're fighting the good fight, because the SEC, yeah. Gary Gensler dropped the ball. Everybody knows he dropped the ball with FTX and a few other things that went on. And I think he brought on all of these cases and all of these actions to move attention away from the fact that, well, he's kind of friends with the family. There's a lot of grayness going on around the whole FTX debacle and Gary Gensler. So, yeah, I think Gary Gensler needs to take a couple of seats, and I think people are starting to find out that, hey, here's a chair for you to take a seat in. So that's something I pay attention to. MetaMask has new technology coming out that actually could affect Ethereum, meaning it's an intent based, meaning what are the intentions of this particular transaction, and giving weight to certain transactions over other transactions at given periods of time. I don't know how that's going to work out, but it sounds like it's pretty positive. It's not, but I got to see it in action. I have to, read some reports and see some feedback from it to see how that really is going to play out. But MetaMask is actually a big player, so we should be paying attention. It's a big web-based wallet. Don't forget they're owned by Consensus. So that ownership of Consensus has given them access to other technologies as they have purchased other companies. So I'm very interested to see and follow that story and technology about what MetaMask is going to try to speed up those transactions. Because truth be told, I'm more concerned with the cost of the transactions, not just the speed alone. Now, Gemini has taken it on the chin for a while. I told you, what was it, last week or the week before, that, well, they had to pay the $8 million and they had to give back their license in New York State. So that's not fun. But they were approved to do business in France. And that's very interesting. Something that I did not write a story about, but that I have I have written several stories, just not today. The European Union has altered their regulations, and they're introducing stronger, more stringent AML regulations that these exchanges and other crypto businesses are going to have to abide by. I pay attention to these rules and regulations because they're going to have a kind of global effect, right? If you want to do business in France, you're going to have to abide, or business within the EU, you're going to have to abide by certain rules. That's going to affect how you do business elsewhere, because you might have to change systems, change practices, and all that kind of stuff just to be compliant within that space, which could mean that it might be cheaper to, roll that out everywhere. Depends on how stringent they are. I think that the move to implement stronger AML, anti-money laundering, is not necessarily a bad move. I just think that the EU and certain countries don't take a necessarily pragmatic approach to writing those rules, right? I think that's the issue. And then you have the NYSE is filing for options trading for the Bitcoin spot ETFs. That's interesting. Here's something I want people to pay attention to. It's not just the Bitcoin spot ETFs that caught my attention. What caught my attention is once you have those Bitcoin spot ETFs, take a step back and look at all of the machinations going on around Bitcoin. And you'll start to see that you're having the normal, course of products and services being offered for Bitcoin. Right? It's being treated as a commodity. So options trading, you feel me? These are things that I'm paying attention to. Van Eck is getting out of the futures ETF business. They weren't first in, and the winner goes usually to the first in, and they haven't done all that well. Monthly trading volume is at like $1 million. So yeah, they decided they're going to get out of that futures thing. Interesting. It's not bad. No, I did not do a story on that one. That was just a quick take on what I had been reading this morning. Franklin Templeton is actually excited and honing in on certain, coins. Obviously, one of them is Bitcoin, but the others are Solana and Ethereum, right? I mean, you can't ignore Solana and Ethereum. I want you to pay attention to, I keep telling you on a daily basis, pay attention to the year-to-date models, performance, all that stuff when it comes to some of these coins. Because what you might be investing in, there could be something else that you could be investing in that's going to give you greater return. So do your own research and pay attention to those numbers. It's not to say that you should not invest in this because the market moves or all coins move like this, right? All coins move like this. Some go up, some go down, some go up, some go down, right? The reason why I bring this to your attention is, again, I'm looking at Bitcoin. Bitcoin should have blown up. It didn't. It hasn't really pulled back all that much. And Grayscale dropping $1 billion in Bitcoin, not helpful either. But Ethereum has outperformed Bitcoin thus far this year, which means on day one, January 1st, if you'd have bought Ethereum, you'd be greater than 10% up. Whereas on Bitcoin, I think it was like 1 point something percent. There are other coins that are doing well too, like Injective. I called that out yesterday. If you just do your own research on what you're doing, but I'm also paying attention to what the use cases are for a given coin. Like I pay attention to the meme coins. I'll bring up a meme coin in just a little while, and you'll see huge swings from yesterday to today. Huge swings, right? And those are things that go into my calculus or my algebra, basically, of what I have to look at when I'm investing my funds or investing my assets into digital assets, right? My money. Kraken CEO, his take on the spot Bitcoin ETFs is, at the end of the day, it's positive for Kraken. They're thinking at the end of the day, it's positive for Kraken. The reason why that's a significant statement is because if I'm not going to purchase Bitcoin myself, that means I'm not interacting with exchanges as a retail customer. I'm going over here to Fidelity, one of the companies, Bitwise, whoever, to go get my Bitcoin spot ETF, get my exposure that way, which means no business for, Kraken, Coinbase, other centralized exchanges. But they win at the end of the day, as some of those businesses have to come to them to actually manage transactions and things like that. And we'll get to Jamie Dimon in a little bit. Something else is Michael Saylor was like, Jamie, It's digital money. Like I listened to, the IMF, the director of the IMF saying, hey, look, listen, it's not money. Exactly. It's not. It's digital money. It's not quite money, right? In the legal term, it's not fiat. It's not backed by a state or anything else like that. But if I see value in it and I can use that value to go get something else, at first it's called bartering, and then all of a sudden it becomes money. People kind of settle around it and say there's a certain value to this, and the value of that is, 5 chickens, right? And you start to realize how things start to happen. Jamie Dimon came out, was it yesterday or the day before, at the World Economic Forum. He was being interviewed on CNBC. He still had nothing positive to say about, the whole crypto world. Believes in blockchain. We use blockchain. And I can understand some coins might be of value. People miss that. Everybody that's crying about Jamie Dimon today missed the statement. If they'd have been listening carefully, I think that Jamie Dimon waffled. Right? I think he hesitated and pulled back and said, I don't want to talk about it anymore. This is the last time I'm going to talk about it. And it's because people like me have called him out. Like, listen, how dare you talk about, crypto and this, that, and the other. And your business, your bank is so deeply involved in crypto that nobody can understand why you're doing that. That JP Morgan is one of the banks that's going to be doing business with BlackRock for their Bitcoin spot ETF. So what are you talking about, Jamie? So Jamie pulled back a little bit. People are saying, he said Bitcoin is a pet rock this time. This time he did not. He said other coins might be a pet rock. And certain coins might be of value, but I don't want to get into it. So he's starting to say, okay, I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop talking all this stuff, and I'm going to let it go. And then you have Michael Saylor and Mike Novogratz saying, yeah, I don't know what the heck Jamie's talking about. Bitcoin's the ish. They're right. Because Jamie wouldn't say that. He just kind of, if you listen to it, he just kind of like, well, Bitcoin, he kind of just shrugged it off. And I'm still trying to understand how was he able to say all of those things negatively about Bitcoin, right? Meanwhile, his business is deeply involved in Bitcoin and other coins. All right. These are things that I want you to pay attention to. I want you to put in your little bucket, your little bucket of notes. So that's what I'm paying attention to, all those different things, right? Real quick, we're going to go over the numbers, and then I got it. I got to get out of here. I got another meeting to get to. Let me see if I can bring this up. All righty. Pull that down, push that up. There you go. Now, let me just refresh this because I haven't refreshed it. And I want to say like 15 minutes or so. There you go. All right. So you have who's down? Because just a little while ago, Bonk was down. So Chainlink is down 4%. I have a 5% rule. So these don't matter to me right now. I'm not really into Kasama, but I know some people are. It's down 5%. Fetch AI, figures it'd be down 5%. Arbitrum is down 6%. That's a nice little pullback. But Bonk down 7%. Just saying, you're going to see big swings in things, and these are things you should be paying attention to. I brought up Beam yesterday, down 8%. Nice little pullback, could be an opportunity to get in from my perspective. Chili's down 10% after being up a bit yesterday. So again, could be an opportunity. Dog with hat. It had been down. When I first looked at this sheet, it had been down. It had been down, I think, like 7% or something like that. And now it's back up. When you're dealing with meme coins, I want you to be very, very careful if that's something you choose to do, because the swings can be huge. Huge. I heard somebody talking about Myro yesterday. I have no idea what the heck this coin is, but he was talking it up yesterday, and I'm like, it just came out. What's there to talk about? Look at the market cap at 230 million. Look at the market cap of Dog With Hat. You're talking about market values that are below 500,000. Yes, a couple might be approaching 500 million, might be approaching that, but they're not there now. So these are things that I'm paying attention to. Helium Mobile, up 18%, pretty cool. Pocket up 16%. dYdX, up 7%. Again, things that I'm paying attention to because of the moves that they're making. A Star, I told you yesterday, that's something I'm definitely paying attention to because of a deal with Toyota to be involved in their pilot program. So again, I'm doing deeper research. I'm hearing from friends. Morgan put me on to this. So I'm paying attention to what's going on in certain spaces. Why? Because you take in information, you do your own research, something winds up on your radar, and then all of a sudden, maybe you become an investor. See what I mean? Or maybe you go, I did my research, not for me. Exactly. I look at Bonk like that. People are yapping about Bonk. Oh, meme coin. It could outdo some of these others and blah, blah, blah. I'm happy for you. But there are just too many swings for me, and there's no real use case behind it, in my humble opinion. Until I can see a use case, I just don't want to bet money on it. Just not my thing. Could be your thing, just not my thing. You have earnings that are coming out today. You have a lot of regional financials coming out today, right? Truist Financial. Let's see who else. There was M&T Bank, JB Hunt, because it's a transportation service. Logistics, I pay attention to that one. Northern Trust coming out. Key coming out. Key Corp. You just have a Burton First Horizon Corporation. You just have a lot of, Commerce Bank shares. You just have a lot of regional banks that are coming out with their numbers today, with their earnings. And these are things that, as I look at the stock market, I'm paying attention because how the stock market goes, certain things can have an effect on the cryptoverse. You know what I mean? So Fear and Greed Index is at 63, still in greed, but still really low in the greed space. DeFi Llama, we were up higher. I think it was 78 billion yesterday. We're down to 77, almost on the dot today. If you look at Bitcoin where it is, again, I keep telling you, we're still trading within a band of 41,416 and 44,741. That's my yellow band right here. And if you look at the bulk of the transactions over this period of time, we're still moving laterally. Looking at where we are, trading toward the middle, bottom half of this band, do I think that we're getting ready for a major move? Yes, I really do. Looking at the big board, you can see just about everybody's red. Just about everybody's red, giving you an opportunity, giving me at least an opportunity to get in. Injective is down big. Arbitrum is down big. XRP is still down below 60 cents. Cardano's down below 55 cents. Solana's down below $100. These are all reasons why I'm paying attention. I'm expecting big things this year out of Link. Chainlink is doing big, big, big moves. Again, connective tissue. Not only am I looking for use cases, but I'm looking for connective tissue. All right. Who's next up on the bat? You just go down the list. Again, I was telling you, Ethereum versus Bitcoin. Ethereum's at 10%, almost 11% on the year. Even if you're looking at the past 90 days, it's just outperforming Bitcoin. Who's the other one? Chainlink, 2.96% up this year. Year to date. I'm looking at all the other ones that are down double digits and thinking opportunity. And the reason why is because I know that when Bitcoin starts to move up, a lot of these other coins are also going to start to move up. Injective, 6.56% up this week, year to date. So again, I'm paying attention to, just how things are moving in comparison. Lido up almost 19%, Arbitrum up almost 26%. They might be down now, but year to date, they're still in the positive. Stacks is up 5.5%. VeChain is not doing well thus far, but to me, I'm looking at this number and I'm thinking that's an opportunity. Down, you're down 13% this year. To me, still an opportunity. Anyway, this is Eddie J on crypto. I hope you like what I'm doing. Drop me a note if you do. And if you have ideas about how I can make things better, also drop me a note because I love hearing from everybody. Something that I will ask you to do is do me a favor. Hop on growmybag.tv /articles, and you can see a whole bunch of stuff. You'll see a whole bunch of articles that we drop. There's even more when you sign up as a bagger member. There's a whole bunch of things that we're doing. We've got a new knowledge base that's about to come out. We have a television channel that's about to come out on Roku. We just have a lot going on, and we want your involvement. All right. Have a good one. Bye-bye.